What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, after Sweet's price absolutely took off earlier last week, it has now cooled down a little bit, leaving a lot of investors wondering what's going on, or is it over, are we going to go some more, what's going to happen? Well, although no one knows what's going to happen, I am picking up on some very bullish signals that I wanted to share with you today. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Don't forget, my friends, if you do want to do a little trading yourself on Bitcoin, Pepe, Sweet, Sol, and many more, on all the way up to 500x leverage, you can check out that BTCC link down below. Guys, if you do sign up specifically with my link down there, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on all deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means if you deposit, say, $4,000, they're going to give you $400 on the spot to start trading with. And whatever profit you make from that is completely yours and no strings attached. It's literally an opportunity to make free gains during the bull market. And I think that the platform's amazing. They've been around for a very long time and are constantly making upgrades. So if you do want to check that out, go check out that BTCC link down below. Now, looking at Sweet here, okay, let me give you a little bit of just a recap of what's been going on so you'll start to understand why what we are seeing right here is so important. So as you all know, Sweet's price has been absolutely smashing, and I mean, saw this beautiful push towards the beginning of November all the way up towards $3.90 before inevitably slowing down. Now, as this price did start to slow down a little bit, hey, I was sitting there telling you all, like, it's totally okay. Let this cool down happen. Let this pullback happen. Many of our indicators are super overextended. Let them reset a little bit. Let them come back down. Let Sweet's price correct, because if it does successfully correct, and if we do successfully see a back test, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest to see Sweet start to really push towards the upside. Now, matter of fact, as we were pulling back, I was telling you all, hey, look, based on our Fibonacci's, if we can see Sweet's price break out, I think we're looking at a Sweet that pushes up towards $4.30, $4.50, $5. I mean, I think we could head all the way up here, but obviously it's going to be a bit of a battle to get there. And now what we saw was Sweet start to give us those early signs, right? We saw the descending channel, which is a very bullish structure. We broke out of that descending channel. We hit the three-step verification. Step 1, back test. Step 2, clear the recent high. Step 3, clear the Fibonacci. And once we hit this three-step verification, I mean, absolutely took off to the upside, hitting our breakout targets upwards exactly around where we thought Sweet's price could go. And now that it has hit our breakout targets, and now that it has hit these levels up here, a lot of people are wondering, well, what happens next? Because in the last video, I told you, hey, look, don't be surprised if you see Sweet cool down a bit, start pulling back, maybe go sideways, just start to kind of reset, because it did just hit a major breakout target, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We're starting to see Sweet's price really cool down and correct right now, and as it's doing this, it's giving us some bullish signals that this may not be the end of the run, baby. We might still have some more room to the upside to go, and so I want to tell you what these signals are, what they could imply, and much more. And so with that said, now that you have a good idea of what has been going on, let's shift a little bit more into what is, what's happening now and what we can expect next. Now, we'll give you a little bit of a warning before we go into what we're going to really focus on today. Some of the things that I am going to talk about in today's video will be a little bit complicated or complex, especially if you're new. So if you are a beginner who's just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, or maybe you're more advanced, but you're just trying to add more tools to your toolbox, all that I ask of you, if you're someone who's simply just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, is that you stick around to the end of the video, because at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you all about what we're doing over in the Discord server right now, whether it's the insights that we're providing, the buy and sell signals, the courses, the classes, the live stream, the exclusive content, all of these things coming together are generating our community hundreds of percentages and gains every single day. So if you want to be somebody who is elevating at a very fast rate, learning a bunch of lessons, using those lessons to develop strategies that then turn into real life gains, again, all that I ask specifically from you is that you just stick around until the end of the video. Now, like I said before, let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen next. So what I always like to look for, okay, after a crypto pumps like Sui did, is quite frankly just what it does after. Because if a crypto is in a sustainable period of long-term growth, and what that means is that this crypto is going to go up for a long time, and it's not going to look like this, right? It's probably going to look like this and this, right? Like if it's going to be in a sustained period of long-term growth, you're going to need to see sustainable breakouts. What I mean by that is that if a crypto is going to be able to go up, if Sui is going to hit $9 or $10, it needs to have sustainable breakouts. And that means that we can't see, a breakout to the upside and we immediately lose it and we come back down and we flip this resistance into resistance. We get this double R establishment, which is never good, right? No, we can't see those things. What we need to see is this thing breaking key resistance levels and then using those resistance levels as liquidity to control the price and continue pushing it upwards. Have these higher highs, have these higher lows in the macro sense, and using these key levels of resistance as support levels, right? That's what we realistically need to see. And what we're paying attention to for SWI right now is whether or not that's the case, right? Are we going to get sustainable breakouts or not? Now, the early signals and signs that I'm getting today all revolve around that theory that we need to see SWI's price sustainably break out of this move that it just had, right? We need to see SWI realistically stay above $4 in a sustainable way. Well, what we can see here, in time to break down some of these signals, are the fact that that is exactly what's happening. As SWI's price did get this initial pullback right here, it didn't trigger some gigantic sell-off. We didn't see a huge bunch of liquidations because bulls were over leveraged. No, we didn't see any of that. We saw SWI's price, let's go down to the hourlies. We saw SWI's price come back down to this previous level of resistance right here, boom, and flip that resistance point into a support point and then push back towards the upside. Now, is this going to hold? I have no idea, but it's not really what matters. What matters is the fact that now SWI's price is giving us a sustainable cool down. You see this correction that it's been doing for about 3 or 4 days now, where it's just going sideways. This is one of the best things that it can do, because look, although its price is not doing much, its indicators are. Look at this hourly RSI. Look what's happening here. You see how as SWI's price has been going sideways, this hourly RSI has been consistently trending back towards that oversold region? This means that our bulls are having a proper amount of time to rest and recover and let the bullish momentum kind of slow down a little bit. Let those bears win a little bit. Let the bears slow us down, no problem, because bears and bull markets only have limited amounts of energy. There's just not much that they can do, quite frankly. And in a period and in a moment like this, let them win. Who cares? Because when the bulls are ready to go, when the bulls have that momentum, when all these indicators are reset, it's very likely that the bulls will be able to take over and really push the price back upwards. So when you look at something like your hourly RSI, boom, this bad boy is getting reset to levels that it's not been to since SWI's price was back at $3.18. I mean, guys, the last time that we saw SWI's RSI back here was here, right before we saw this beautiful breakout, and we're already back to this level just from this little period of cool down, right? We go back out to the 4-hour charts, we look at what that RSI is doing. Look how this RSI is also in a spot way, I mean, look, let me just take this white line actually and just draw it in for you. The last time we were at this point was, again, back here. And SWI's price didn't have to crash to get there. It didn't have to absolutely tank to get there. It didn't even take very long to get there. Just after a couple days of going sideways, we're seeing this RSI getting very close to that 50% threshold, which historically is a level that SWI has been able to use to push back towards the upside on several different occasions. And so because of that, what this means to me is that as we are now seeing SWI's price kind of cool down a little bit, the bulls are getting the reset that they need. They're getting the rest that they need. And you know what's even better about that? We're not even at any of the VPOSs realistically. We're not at any of our major viable points of support. If we look at what SWI has done, you would assume that, you know, your first VPOS would be your most recent macro high. VPOS, again, is a viable point of support, meaning it's a likely level that support will be held. And you see how like this white line is held above this previous point of resistance? That's a VPOS. That's where you would assume some support would be. That's where you would assume the bulls would step in. Or maybe you go a little bit lower and you say, okay, well, we had this Adam and Eve pattern back here. This is a VPOS. We're not even at any of them yet. We're just at this little random point of resistance that we had from this random little wick right here. And it's holding the price up for several days, allowing for SWI's indicators to reset. So just imagine, quite frankly, if it does continue lower. I mean, what if we do go into another descending channel somewhat similar to the one we had back here? I mean, think about how far down your indicators could reset and how much rest the bulls could get in order to then use one of those key support levels to then break towards the upside. I mean, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And so what this is telling me right now, and this is just my opinion, but what it's telling me right now is that SWI is getting a fantastic reset, probably even a better reset than what we got back here. And I think this is putting SWI in a spot to where it is going to, again, find a higher low, look for some sort of support, and then try to continue to the upside for long-term sustainable growth. So if the goal right now is to see SWI have a sustainable breakout, that is exactly what we're getting. And it's giving us exactly the type of move now that it's broken above this resistance that we should be looking for, and it's a very good sign. Now, I'm not going to go out and say that SWI's price might not pull back. It might come back to $3.94. Hell, it might come back all the way to $3.70, but that's not the point. The point is that even if it does, the likelihood that we're going to find macro support and really try to continue upward is very high. Another push up here, I would say there's a 70-80% chance that SWI's price tries to continue upwards towards $4.70, $4.80, $4.95. And so because of that, I can only just be bullish. And so because of that, this is absolutely fantastic. I love what I'm seeing from SWI here. And I think that if we could get another couple days, I mean, ideally we get another 4 or 5 days of just going sideways in here, because the longer we stay in this and the more, support that gets established and the bigger the foundation is, the more likely it is that we're going to be able to push up. And you got to remember, guys, we just broke out of this one. So we also still have all this support below us helping us push the price up. Now we get a more micro support as well. Oh, dude, that could be a perfect formula for us to push towards $5. So what we're seeing from SWE is great right now. I think if you absolutely have to buy some SWE, like you cannot help yourself, you must. I don't think this is a terrible time. Personally, I'm not buying any just because I'm very happy with the purchases that we were doing right here. I'm happy with the size of the position that I have for SWE now, and so I'm not going to be forcing it. But I don't think it's a terrible time, especially if we do continue in this manner. And so, of course, as this does play out and as SWE does continue to like consolidate and go sideways a little bit, I'll continue to update you once we get more bullish signs and more bullish signals going off. But this is a fantastic sign, what we're seeing right here. I love the fact that that support is being held. The bulls are stepping in exactly as they need to, and that's giving us a dang good chance at pushing up towards $5. And as I said, I could be wrong. I personally don't believe I'd be invalidated unless SWE's price breaks below like $3.30 down here. So we have so much room before that happens to come back and find that higher low. I am rather confident we will see that, SWE over the long term, next couple months, be able to continue upwards, and I'm very much so liking what I'm seeing. So with that in mind, I just wanted to share that with you today, let you know that these bullish signals are flashing all over the place, and I definitely think that you should be keeping an eye on this as much as possible. And you guys know I'll be here every day, helping you out, letting you know what's going on, but definitely set your alerts and watch this bad boy closely, because if we do find that support, yeah, I think a strong rip to the upside could definitely be on the way, and obviously that would be absolutely fantastic. And don't forget, guys, if you are someone who is simply just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, I want you to check out that Discord server down below. Now, in order to get access to the server, you're gonna have to check out that Patreon link down below. And guys, it is the cost of a Netflix subscription every month or cheaper, either $17 a month or $5 a month. But what comes with it is absolutely insane. I mean, you're gonna get insights with Tyler, which goes, it's my own personal feed, my thoughts, my insights, things that I'm buying and selling, changes to my portfolio, my advice and guidance about things I'm seeing in the market, and much more. You're going to get daily technical analysis reports on all the different cryptos we cover here on the channel, fundamental analysis every morning on the market itself. I've hired 2 teams of professional traders to give their buy and sell signals every day that they're trading. And you got to think, these are people whose businesses, their livelihoods rely on them making good trades, and they're going to be posting their trades here in the server exclusively for you guys. We have exclusive live shows. We have, of course, if we go over to announcements, just recently announced the launch of Crypto Vault Live, which is going to be a 30-minute show every morning, Monday through Friday, going over the market, what's happening in the news, and much more to get you super updated on what's happening in this crazy crypto world. We have premium classes on things like the Fibonacci's, the Bollinger Bands, bull market investing, live workshops on things like, a beginner's guide to XRP Ripple with one of our coaches, Crypto Atlas. We have beginner's courses on things like leverage trading, on things like technical analysis. Guys, these are 30-minute long videos, 20-page presentations. You're getting vocabulary, you're getting cheat sheets, you're getting all the stuff that you'll need to really start learning how all this stuff works. There's tips with Tyler, in which these are little 2 or 3 minute long videos, just going over random things like taking profits, setting up certain settings, just things like that. And then, of course, there are premium questions, which is a chat in which premium members can go in and ask a question to myself or one of the 5 coaches and get that thing answered as soon as possible. And as a result of all of this value that we're providing, guys, all of the workshops, all of the classes, we are seeing hundreds of percentages. Well, in this case, thousands of percentages. Shout out to this guy putting in a 6,000% gains. But of course, we can see hundreds of percentages being printed every single day. I mean, this is just yesterday, guys. Hundreds of percentages. So if you want to be one of these people who are learning these lessons, using these lessons to build your strategy, and using that strategy and turning it into real life money, real life profit, real life gains, hundreds of percentages of gains, then go down to the link in the description below. Again, go check out that Discord server, because it is the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper, which in my opinion is just a crazy good deal. So as per usual, feel free to check that out if you do want. And don't forget, I do post 4, 5, 6, 7 videos here on the channel every single day. So if you have been enjoying them, don't forget to smash that like button, turn on those notifications when you do subscribe so you never miss one of these updates. And I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.